Hey, I'm Red, and today I'm gonna show you how to take that emotional guitar sound that 734 by Juice WRLD has and use it to make better beats of your own. I'll also give you some free loops if you stick to the end. With that said, let's begin. Okay, the first thing I want to show you before you decide if you want to take my advice on this is the final melody I came up with in a simple step shown later in this video. If you like the melody, then stick around because I got a bunch of tips for you. Anyways, here's the melody. 734's melody has one main element, and that is the emotional guitar progression, so let's break it down. The first thing you want to add is a BPM of around 160. This helps set in the emotional vibe. Now 734 uses a classic 1767 progression. You will find this type of chord progressions all the time, especially in sad trap instrumentals. What I mean by 176 is the scale degrees. By this point you already know what a scale degree is. This is your scale, it has 7 notes in it, so 7 scale degrees. The most important ones, as you know, are the 1, which feels like home, the 5 and 7, which have a lot of tension to them, and the 3 and 6, which have tension to them but not as much. That is an oversimplification, but just bear with me for a second. What 1767 means is that we are going to use a progression that looks like this. First it goes down, and then it goes back up like this. We start on the 1, then go down to the 7, and then go down to the 6th. As I've told you in past tutorials, the fall from a 1 to a 6 chord is guaranteed going to feel sad. And lastly, you know that usually in this type of progressions I like to play between tension and no tension, and if you remember our explanation from 30 seconds ago, these two chords don't have a lot of tension, but this one does, so naturally the last one should also have it. And the best way to do it is by adding another 7 in there. 1, 7, 6, 7. Okay, now we have our root notes. Now to make chords out of that, simply skip one tonic note and add one note right after. Skip one and add a note. Do the same for the 7th, the 6th, and again for the 7th. Now, as always, highlight the thirds and bring them up an octave. Okay, now we have the chords. Now comes the creative part. You want to make a guitar progression using these notes. Now, since this is the creative part, I can't tell you what to do. However, I can give you some tips. Tip 1. Start your progression with an ascending strum progression like this. Tip number 2. Try to leave the last spaces of the bar empty. It feels more emotional like that. These are just tips, not rules, so you can just do whatever sounds good to you. Using those 2 tips, I came up with this progression. And that's it, now we got our guitar. But just like this, it would feel empty. So let's add a simple lead. And some pads using the exact same chords. Here's how they sound together. Now all that's left is some drums. And that's about it. That's how to make an emotional guitar melody like 734 by Juice WRLD. Before I play you the final beat, if you want to download the melody loop I made in this video, there's a free download link in the description. It's royalty free, so you can use it however you want. I make 2 beat breakdowns a week, so if you want more tips on how to make better melodies, subscribe, and as always, see ya.